Hi, everybody. Welcome to AP Daily. My name is Tim Gallagher, and I'm an AP Computer Science teacher from Winter Springs High School, located just outside of beautiful Orlando, Florida. Today's topic is topic 4.1, and it's while loops. And this is the second of 3 videos about while loops. And in this one, we're going to explore infinite loops, loops that never execute, and some other common iteration errors. So what will we learn? Well, our learning objective is still representing iterative processes while using a while loop. And we've looked at changing the flow of control by repeating a set of statements. And we looked at how the Boolean expression is always evaluated before the iteration of the loop body. But I want to focus on these last 2 in this video, which is the fact that a loop is an infinite loop when the Boolean expression always evaluates to true. And if the Boolean expression evaluates to false initially, then the loop body is never executed at all. So let's look at an example. Here I've got a very short program with a completed, fully functional while loop, while true. And I got a statement printing out APCSA. Well, this is always going to execute because true always evaluates true. True is never going to be false. So this will repeat over and over and over and over again without stopping. When I run this program, I get this. APCSA printed over and over again, and it's still running. It keeps running until I have to process. While this looks pretty cool, I might use this as my background. It's not something that we want our programs to do. This is called an infinite loop. It's a loop that keeps going over and over and over again, keeps repeating, never ends. Not something that we really want to have happen in our programs. So we have to make sure that we can prevent this by putting some sort of update, so eventually our loops will evaluate to false. Here's a good example. I've got a value set equal to 10. While my value is greater than or equal to 0, print the value. Well, if I run the code as is, I get this infinite loop. It looks like binary, but it's really just printing 10, 10, 10, 10, 10 over and over again. What's missing? The update. So I'm going to put an update in here. This is always true. And my update is going to be value plus plus. So I'm going to add 1 to value each time. So what happens? When I run it again, I still get a lot of numbers. I'm not getting 10 every time, but if you look at these numbers closely, I'm printing 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. It's always going to be true still. My value is always greater than or equal to 0. I've got an update, but it's not the correct update. What do I want to have happen? Well, if I'm starting at value is 10 and I want to keep looping as long as it's greater than or equal to 0, I should be counting downward, value minus minus. And then eventually I will no longer be greater than or equal to 0. So when I run the code this time, 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0, then my loop stops. So have to think about not only having some sort of update, but making sure it's the correct update so you don't have that infinite loop. Let's look at another situation. I've got another loop here, very similar to what we saw in the past video. Number equals 5. There's my initialization. And then I've got my while loop while number is greater than 100. And if I'm thinking, I want to print out a bunch of numbers and I want to stop when I get to 100. So I don't want to do anything greater than 100. You might put something like this, while number is greater than 100. And then I print out number and I have number plus equals 5. Oh, so I'm going to count by 5s again, 5, 10, 15, 20, and I want to stop around 100. Well, when I run this program, I get nothing. How come? Let's look at the Boolean condition. Number is equal to 5, but number is never greater than 100. That's always going to be false. I messed up my Boolean condition. So what do I want here? Maybe I want less than 100. So now when I run this, what happens? I get my 5, 10, 15, 20, all the way up to 95. What if I wanted to count to 100 though? I wanted to start at 5. We saw if I switched these statements in the last video, I would get to 100, but I started at 10. So what if I wanted to go from 5 to 100? How can I modify this? Well, I could put less than or equal to 100. So again, modifying your Boolean expression to make sure that the exact value that you want, so you know you're going to stop at the exact place you want to, is also very important as well. So now I go 5, 10, 15, 20, all the way up to and printing 100, because 100 is still less than or equal to 100. And then once I go to 105, my loop stops. So what should we take away from this? Well, We've continued to look at representing our iterative processes by using a while loop. We've changed the flow of control by repeating statements. We've looked at the Boolean expressions that are evaluated. This video, we focused on a loop that is an infinite loop when a Boolean expression always evaluates to true. And if a Boolean expression evaluates to false initially, then the body is never executed. Those are two things you want to really try to avoid in making sure that you have the proper updates and having the proper Boolean expression as well. That's it for today. Thank you so much for joining us on AP Daily, and we'll see you next time. Take care.